It's another edition of Bystanders at Newsstands on 50B. It's Thursday morning, and we're right here at the Newsstand dishing it out the way you want it. Alright, what's happening on Kukah? The Archbishop himself, the controversial Catholic bishop. What is trending on his story this time around? Talking about the New Telegraph with us on today's edition of this program. Kukah offended Nigerians with anti-Buhari remarks. That's what presidency has pointed out on today's edition of Bystanders. Quickly to the rider, false Muslim groups quit notice ultimatum to Bishop. False Muslim groups quit notice ultimatum to Bishop. Father Kukah has greatly offended many with his controversial remarks against the government and the person of the president, with some even accusing him of voicing anti-Islamic rhetoric. Individuals like Bishop Kukah must respect the feelings of his fellow Nigerians in his private and public utterances. Alright, quickly to another story on the front page of this same journal. We have WHO, that's the World Health Organization, 1,750 experts parley on emerging variants, that's on COVID-19. WHO, 1,750 experts parley on emerging variants. 20 UITH doctors contract virus. PDP seeks dissolution of PTF, that's the Presidential Task Force. Alright, still on NSAS, right here on the front page of the New Telegraph newspaper. 233,000 candidates to receipt SSCE papers. NSAS, 203,000 candidates to receipt SSCE papers. PIB, federal government seeks cost reduction in petroleum industry. And on ASU strike, lecturer turned taxi driver shot dead. Lecturer turned taxi driver shot dead. Buhari Kalu Tinubu governors Ohaneze Mon Undu BC Kanu Buhari Kalu Tinubu governors Ohaneze Mon Undu BC Kanu. And these are the stories we found on the front page of these journals. Quickly to our reviewers for more talks on these stories. I'll be right back.
I work with Everton Properties Limited, a real estate development and marketing company. And in year 2020, which is the end of the year, we are running a promo. We call it end of the year promo, New Year and Christmas promo, where we are giving out a special discount for a special people, when we are giving a special gift for a special client. Now, Everton Properties Limited, we are saying that you can pay 25,000 naira initial deposit and journey to a new year, new home just began. At Everton Properties Limited, we don't just sell property, we sell peace of mind. Everton, creating value. Use promo code FLIPTV and enjoy special gift and special discount for Xmas promo with Everton Properties Limited. Thank you.
Diverse bodies have come out to criticize him. They also came out last week to criticize the utterances of Bishop Kukah, especially in terms of making an utterance of a coup, which the man later told Nigerians that he didn't say that there should be coup in Nigeria, especially in Muhammadu Buhari's administration. But don't you think Kukah was saying the truth, especially on the nepotic traits the president has exhibited based on people's views? Don't you think the man, as a Catholic bishop, was saying the right thing and trying to change the orientation the president has?
Actually, thank you, my brother, Mr. Mike. See, let me tell you, this government, they hate criticisms. They don't want people to criticize them. And they say they are democracy. What is democracy? No. See, Kukah speak his mind, just like the way we are speaking our mind, just like the way we are talking to Nigerians. Let me tell you, our information ministers, like Mohammed, is the worst minister of information since I was born. You know why? He hate people. Let's say he hate people not to speak the truth. I don't know. He's the one who carried that Kukah for head. And since nobody can speak the truth, if the government fail, the last people is a Christian, the pastors and the man. The man speak his mind. Because insecurity, poverty, so many things was going on. No other pastor want to speak. Everybody is afraid. Even the Muslim, they are afraid. The man have to speak out. What did he say? Our president should look inward. Our government will look inward. Make sure too much of killing, anger, poverty in the country, insecurity. That's what the man said. Then like government turn it to something else. And said the man want to overthrow the president. We all watch this speech. All of us watch it. But what I'm saying, I expected other pastors, other Christians should support Kukah. Just few of them. But if the Muslim group rise up, who are the Muslim group? From the Northerner. Because the Northerner hate the Southerner. When the Southerner speak the truth, the Northerner will hate them. But did you hear the statement the Northerners speak? That president should resign? You remember? Did anybody talk to them? Did anybody say it? Did any Christian in the South get up and say, why did the Northerners? See, let me tell you, we don't love ourselves in this country. Actually, I normally say we are one Nigeria. But what I'm seeing now is like we are being divided to 10 places. We don't love ourselves. For Kukah, I respect Kukah. Let me tell you, there is no president that ever emerged in Nigeria that Kukah have not speak the truth to. Yes, when you are doing right, it will praise you. When you are doing wrong, it will tell you you are doing wrong. That is for Kukah. Since the time I was born, I know Kukah. After Kukah, I still mention that pastor again for Southwest, Bishop Oyedepo. I don't understand. That's another good man. But let me tell you, the Muslim people in the north, they don't even like the Southerner here. They don't like them. So what I'm saying, the man did the right thing. He never asked president for coup. He never asked anybody to remove president for power. Let me see what is happening in America. Everybody has right to, they can speak. That's the democracy there. But in Nigeria here, we are afraid. Everybody is afraid. But I like Kukah. Continue your good job. I like you. We are behind you. If they say you should move out of Sokoto, come back to Southwest. Or come back to South, we receive it, but it cannot happen. It's not going possible. If they try that, even the president is afraid. They started warning the North. They are the ones, are the same people sponsoring these Muslim people. They are the people sponsoring them. I don't understand me. So they cannot overthrow Buhari. Buhari is the one forming all this thing that Kukah said. Kukah did not say that. I watched him in television. Right. He never said that. He's trying to tell the president to do the right thing. That is it.
All right. The utterances of Bishop Kukah that is causing controversy in the country presently. I don't really think Kukah was saying the wrong thing last week when he made mention of certain things that needed to be corrected in Buhari's administration. And we have diverse bodies coming out to say Kukah is anti-Buhari, he wanted the military to overthrow the government and all that. What's your take on
it? My take is that there is nothing ordinary, there's nothing strange in what Kukah has said. He just mentioned the obvious facts. It's just that people are quoting him out of context. Because that statement that was released by the Minister of Information and Culture in the presence of La Mohammed, where he said that Kukah was calling for a change of government, a coup. I think that statement from the Minister of Information, he quoted Kukah out of context. Because everything Kukah said is the obvious fact.
We can look at it component by component. Within the context, he said it. He made mention of nepotism. And I know that this government, nepotism is their hallmark. They are known for nepotism. In fact, when it comes to nepotism, it has become legendary with this government. So you cannot deny that fact. If you decide to go to exhibit a character, you should be willing to answer names that come with it. So when somebody say this government is nepotistic, the person is speaking the truth. I don't see anything wrong in anybody saying that this government is nepotic in nature. I would say that the other aspect of his Kukah statement, where he said that Christians that will not have pool of violence to draw from, he has spoken the obvious facts. If you are a good reader of the Bible, you understand that even Jesus Christ encouraged you to return the other ear when you are being smote on one ear.
Just like when Peter cut on someone's ear.
You have just mentioned it. Yeah. Where Jesus Christ have to replace the ear. So what does that tell you? It tells you that Kukah was just speaking the obvious truth as entrenched in this scripture. So vilifying him does not solve the situation, does not solve the problem. What the government needed to do is to go back and look at the statement and end, because for me, he's a patriotic citizen. And it is born out of that patriotism that he spoke in that manner. Whether government could do an analysis of it and see areas they can amend. For crying out loud, in our constitution, we have federal character. We have federal character commission, backed up by law. So by implication, if you are making an appointment, it should reflect geographical spread. And there's a relevant section of the constitution that talk about discrimination on the basis of tribe. And when you give appointments and it is biased to the point that some ethnic groups are being cheated, you are already violating that relevant section of the constitution that talk about ethnic bias. So Mr. President and the presidency and everybody that is criticizing Reverend Kukah should do themselves and the country good service by going back to the drawing board and obeying the constitution.
Whether we like it or not, he has a very good reputation in the society. And don't you think as such person should question the way he utter statements in the public?
It depends on how you look at it. If you speak the truth, it doesn't matter how you say it. The truth must be told. Mr. Mike, as a reverend he is, you are mindful that you could be killed for the truth you speak. I think it is on that strength he stands and he speaks the truth. Because even the Bible that he is professing encourages you to speak the truth, even when it comes to the consequence of physical death. No wonder Jesus Christ said that if you lose your life for my sake, you have it. I think it's on that basis he was speaking the truth. For me, he is the quick notice a group gave to him in Sokoto State is unwarranted. I have seen that the federal government have reason to condemn that quick notice and encouraging everybody to stay wherever you feel you want to do your legitimate business in Nigeria, because you have that legitimate right as a Nigerian. Then again, I do not want to condemn any religion, but what I want to say generally is religious leaders should ensure that their subjects, their proponents do the needful. Because the needful is, if in Sokoto State, in Kaduna State, in Borno State, all we see violence is from a particular religion, people will begin to ask questions. So it behoves on the religious leaders to caution their subjects. Because you cannot deny the fact, in Borno State, the good number of the insurgents are talking about caliphate, and it has to do with Islam. So I think right from the cradle, the government or the religious leaders should start inculcating the norms of their religion into their children, because it's a menace to the society. We cannot continue in this manner, because the more you are coming about this crisis, the more you are pulling the country back.
Now, this is what we are talking about. Bishop Kukah. There has been talks that he has offended the president, offended the presidency based on what he said last week, which took over the news space. Your take on it? Was he in the right direction by telling the president or telling the government, this administration, the right thing?
I have to thank your media organization for providing this platform for ordinary Nigerians like me to hear their view. I said many thank you to your organizations and to the entire staff, because you are risking your lives, to go out to seek opinion of the people, to make it an input into the development of this country. Now, first of all, I will say that this government, this present federal government, is sectional. And they are promoting disunity. I have evidence to say so. By the current newspaper report, as it concerns Bishop Kukah, how could you say an individual is an enemy to the presidency? Because this same individual is one of the supporter of the presidential administration when it's about to come to power. That time, we never said anything wrong in that person. So this government, anybody stand out to say the truth, it will become an enemy. Except somebody dancing to the gallery. I remember during the time of Oshomole, when he was chairman of APC, he said that whatever you have done wrong, once you just cross to that side, you have become saints. The record is here. So a nation cannot go under the cyst. So these governments, anytime they will mention unity, they are not ready to promote unity. That's not unity. Now, oh God, I could remember Obasanjo regime when OPC is causing crisis in this southwest, particularly this Lagos. Obasanjo being a Yoruba man, he ordered the police to shoot OPC aside. Why this government cannot take decisive action to declare so-called banditry as terrorists and to give orders, shoot any banditry aside or kidnapper, shoot them aside. This government I've never seen in Africa that negotiates with criminals when they're kidnapped. When citizens of America is kidnapped, America flew to this country to come and rescue their citizens. They did not engage in act of negotiation. Why now? And also I'm inducting the DSS operative who alert Nigeria that some group of people are trying to commit trouble under religious umbrella. They mention some area, including this Sokoto. Fine. And for group of discontent elements to come out that particular citizen should leave their state. And the security of people that alert us, they are alarmed. They cannot arrest that particular person, having show up to pronounce. And the commissioner of police in that state also has failed to arrest that person. That we are trying to cause breach of peace in the state. It's very sad. The same people from north said that people from east should leave northern part of the country. And no security operative arrest that the spokesman. This government is selfish, they are self-centered, they are only, I would say they are promoting northern agenda and forgetting that he was elected on the agenda of entire Nigeria, not agenda of northern agenda. This government, they have shown that they are partial and they are supposed to be impartial. This government, I could say is wholeheartedly, they has failed this country. They has failed. As the commander-in-chief of armed forces and as number one chief security officer of this country, he has failed. He has derailed.
Now, do you think the president has been nepotic in terms of giving appointments to appointees?
Oh God, no. You are winding the hand of the club back. It's evidence. Look at the sensitive position in this country. Security chiefs, service chiefs, all have been appointed from particular area of the country. You cannot promote unity on that basis. And again, the security of the country cannot be intact, which means the people you appoint from your own regional area, they have allegiance to you and to the regional area. Because you did not appoint them, your appointment does not reflect the geographical setup of the country. This is bad. Now, any appointment that's been vacant, that is being headed by Southerners, the next person they put there is Northerner. And you say you are promoting unity. Now, the present IG now, his term of his tenure will soon expire by February. Yeah. People are being speculative that maybe he will appoint somebody from the southern part of the country. Already, we have a feeling that some people are clamoring within the presidency to extend the tenure of this man. This present government has failed the country. They have failed. You see, in fact, if I go my way, any appointment at federal level should reflect the geographical setup of every country. Okay, from the south, okay, 10 people must come. From the southeast, 10 people must come. That is how to promote unity and the good foundations. Presently now, you can see the southwest is 6 states. Look at the north. They are the majority of states. So you can see there's a discrepancy. There's a discrepancy. And this cannot all go on for the country. That is why I'm in support of people that are calling for a restructuring. The new restructuring that reflects the aspirations of the people.
The minds of Nigerians.
The minds of Nigerians. So that if you can do so, there will be no need for any good calling for republic. Either Odua Republic or
any kind of revolution.
Any kind of revolution. And you can see, look at this government again. You set up a panel to probe the NSAS crisis. You started frozen accounts of the organizer, of any member that you know is connected with the NSAS. And also, you say you accept their cost. That is a genuine cost. You know, that you accept the 5-man demand. At the same time, you started posting their cards. It's not good dealing. It's not good. This government has no focus. This government has no vision. And I believe that what Nigeria should do is to reject any type of this leader in 2023. And in fact, to even took them to psychiatry to go and test their brain.
Before appointing them, right?
Before appointing them.
Right. Thank you so much.
Oh God. And I tell your organization, this media tweet will never die.
Amen.
This media tweet continue to grow.
Amen.
From strength to strength.
Amen. Now, you also deliberated on this topic last week, the issue of Kukah, talking to the government, trying to address issues of interest in the country. But it later turned against him, which some people said he was planning a coup for Buhari government. When you sum up what Kukah has said, would you say Kukah is anti-Buhari?
Thank you, Mr. Makadikuli. I don't see what he has said that have made Bishop Kukah anti-Buhari. Just like every Nigerian, just like every interest group, he has his own personal right to also air his own opinion concerning the state of the nation. And the reason why APC called him anti-Buhari because in build up to the 2019 election, he was part of the peace committee that reconciled Alhaji Abubakar Atiku with his ex-boss Olusegun Obasanjo. He was one of the people that reconciled them. So for so doing that, APC thinks he is anti-Buhari. Now this man is saying your government is biased, your government is partisan, there is insecurity in the land. Is that one also an anti-Buhari speech? Just like every Nigerian knows, just like even the newborn baby knows what is happening in this country, and then he has his right to also air his own opinion. But the presidency have also looked for people that will fire him. I don't know what is wrong with the northern youth. A man came out to also air his own grievances towards the state of nation, and then next thing you are saying the man is planning a coup. What do they understand by the word coup? Is he in government? Is he trying to topple the government? He's not. I think Bishop Kukah on his own has beef with some individual within the presidency. They don't even want him to also air his own opinion. They want him to be silenced, just like they succeeded in silencing so many prominent Nigerians. And this man has said he cannot be silent. He will also speak out the way he sees things, just like the way of Satan of Sokoto has been saying it, just like prominent Northern Elders Forum have been saying theirs. So why do they want to cut off his head? Why? What have they done? This man in person has not insulted Buhari. He has not lambasted Buhari. What he's saying about is about the well-being of every Nigerians, for the growth of the country. That is what he's trying to say. And now one thing, and then I don't know what is wrong with this presidency. The moment a prominent person counter Buhari-led administration, next thing you see them coming out their mouth just to shut the person. Why? This is democracy. You don't have to do it. You need to also bear. You need to know how to welcome criticism. You should understand, know how to welcome criticism. Not you every time always trying to muzzle people who are always against your government. If you don't want people to criticize you, then do the needful. You have to do the needful. No. Mr. Kukah said he will not relent until the truth is being spoken. He will continue to always air out his own voice, just like every meaningful Nigerians would do same thing. If the president and the presidency thinks they cannot always bear criticism, let them step down. That is the solution, because you cannot be holding public office and you don't able to criticize you. It is not possible.
Kunle, I don't know if you were part of this discussion last week on Kukah. His advice to the presidency, and which of course is causing controversy and serious talks in the society right now. Kukah has been tagged as someone that is trying to topple Buhari's government. He has been named anti-Buhari person. What is your own take on this? Don't we have the right to express our views concerning the state of the nation?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm going to be hitting the point on the two sides of the coin. You know, there's what they call elder statement. You being an elder statement, there are some words you don't need to say outside. you can have a private meeting, seek private audience with the Mr. President. Or you can go spiritual on it. Like I'm just coming out from 3 days dry fasting, all for myself and for this country, right? Because the way things are going, I see it spiritual. There's a curse on this land. As somebody that cursed this land, we should just pray to erase the curse, because I see no reason why you should be in this kind of comatose, situation right now. You see, pertaining to Reverend Kukah, what he said actually, he hit the nail on the head. But there are some words you don't
make public,
because
right?
we are in a mixed. I don't know, religion-wise, we are in the multi-ethnic, we are in the multi-religious country. You might say something now, the other people will feel offensive that you are hitting them with the word, the statement. So the best bet will have been seek a private audience with the Mr. President. It's been happening like that. You did that under Jonathan. You did that under, So there are some words, the political space there is very hot. People will term it as if you want to, remove their own. When the other president was there, you were quiet. So to me, he should have channeled the message through, a rightful and, meaningful way that Mr. President can give him an audience and, sir, this is what I feel is going on in this country now.
So that not coming in the public to say
not
it,
to say it, yes. There are some words, leaders, religious leaders. When last do you hear Pastor Adeboye saying all this? When last do you hear, Kumoyi saying this? Because they are using wisdom.
But what of if he had met them secretly and advised them on the state of the nation and they refused to listen to it?
Yeah, you said it, and your conscience will be clear. And you tell Nigerians, this is what I've said. I've had private meeting with presidents, private audience. You see, we need to be neutral in this country where we are commenting on national issues. We always need to be neutral and balance the equation of activities going on. You see, that's what I just say. Christian now will be happy that the bishop coming out to. Then the Muslim will be offensive now that how come during Jonathan there was no Malam, there was no chief imam that come out to castigate your God. So since we are in a cross religious country now, we need to be careful of what we
need to restrict certain
statements.
All right, thank you.
Any other? Can I go on any other? Because the lockdown.
That's what we have done. The lockdown. What's your take on it? Quite all right. There are restrictions right now to religious gatherings, pubs, clubs, and other social gatherings.
To me,
what advice would you give to Nigerians on adhering?
We Nigerians, let me say, let's leave government apart. We Nigerians, we are very stubborn people. Our leaders have made us to be stubborn. Because once to push people to the wall, you expected them not to even behave normal again. In this country, if there's any COVID-19 that is going on now, I was in a bus yesterday because I enter public bus a lot. I was looking at the driver. This driver, you are not on face mask. And they asked all of you to be wearing face mask. If you have not used anybody as a scapegoat in this country, people will not adhere to COVID-19 rules. And we are very stubborn of that. COVID-19 is real. We've been seeing people that have died of COVID-19. Forget about it's the rich people. These rich people that have money to take care of themselves. How about you commoner down the street to even feed 3 square meals? It's hard for you. When you get contacted, how are you going to take care of yourself? All over the world you could see masses are adhering to the rules of COVID-19.
So Nigeria must not be different.
We must not be different. We must take our rascality apart, put it aside, put our stubbornness aside, and obey. Religious belief. Like in church, it's mandatory for you to go to. I don't know about mosque because I'm not a Muslim. I know about church. They ask you face mask is mandatory for you to use before you even enter. And you could see every, social events, places like eateries, everything, no face masks, no entry. Most offices, they tell you no face masks, no entry. So why are we so stubborn to adhere with the COVID issues? That's just the generality of stubbornness we have in this country. We are so stubborn that if you don't use people as a scapegoat, we will not sit tight.
And why do you think that Nigerians have found it difficult to believe?
I can link it to diversity in unity, in races, in ethnic.
Would you blame the government?
I won't blame government. I won't blame government. Since some people don't even believe in this government, anything they even do right, they don't believe in it any longer. So this COVID now, people have been terming it that it's a business venture for the government. You see, Nigerians, we can easily frame policy. We can easily, due to ethnic coloration, due to sentimental belief that this is what I believe in, and if you don't stop that, there can never be headway. I'm sure if it was President Obasanjo that came out with this adherence to COVID-19 rules, policy, people will obey. I'm sure if it were Jonathan, past President Jonathan, that but the way things are going now, Nigeria is divided.
And don't you think this administration has failed in its own part, in making people believe in its policy?
Surely, when the COVID started, I could remember last year, that was when we witnessed the demise of Abakari. And the example supposed to have been laid. They say you lead by example. Example supposed to have been laid at that time during the burial. You could see majority of these government officials, they were not adhered due to COVID-19 rules. All of them, no face mask. There was rowdy crowds around, no social distances. That was the beginning of Nigerians disbelieving and disobeying the rules or the protocols. Thank you very much. Now, I won't blame Nigerians for that. When you're the leader, you don't lead by example. Our president said before he was forced to be wearing face masks. I don't know whether he was forced or but I just believe a leader must lead by example. Yeah? All right. A leader must lead by example.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Yeah, we say goodbye on today's edition of this program. Join us next time on the same platform. Michael Adekunle remains my name. Behind the camera, of course, is Festus Oluwabukumi. You can subscribe to our sister channel, Flip TV Plus. You can also subscribe to Flip TV. You can join me on my social media handles, talking about Facebook, MICHAEL, Michael Temitayo Adekunle, and on Instagram, Adekunle Michael Temitayo. Viewers across the globe, we really appreciate you for joining us on today's edition of this program. Bye for now.